Hello and welcome. So today I'm going to show you how I made this Valentine's Day heart that you break open and it's full of chocolate. This is just a half-side heart, so it's not technically like a piñata style, but I do have a mold that has two sides, so I could make it a piñata style, but this particular one is not. And yeah, so keep watching and I will show you how you make this. Okay, so there really is no way around making one of these without a mold. It's kind of a necessity. The good news is it's pretty easy to find cheap molds. They have some of these on Amazon. This one I got at Michael's, which they are kind of pricey at Michael's. However, I waited till there was a good sale, so it was under $10, and this is a piñata style mold. So really, to make one of these, you don't need to have a two-sided mold like this. You could do one side and then you just place it down like this and fill it with your candy. So there's really no need to make a two-sided mold like this unless that is what you want to do. So this one makes like a piñata style mold. So it's going to be like this. This fits a lot more inside of it, but really truly do not need to buy a mold like this. You could buy a one-sided mold like this, and that works perfectly fine, and it uses a lot less chocolate, so it's a little bit easier. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to wash these and then make sure they're very dry before I fill them with chocolate. Okay, so for this video, I'm going to show you how to do it just with one side, but if you get this piñata one that I have, basically you can put the two chocolate things together, and then it has a hole like an actual piñata, and then it has this to put on the bottom, so it can be like an actual piñata, which is super cool. However, it uses a lot of chocolate and it doesn't lay super flat, so I want to do it like this for the sake of this video. So first thing we're going to do is melt a bunch of chocolate. So I got these at Bulk Barn. You just need to make sure it is melting chocolate. And this is just milk chocolate, but obviously if you prefer white chocolate or dark chocolate or bitter chocolate, whatever you like, you can use. I'm going to pop these in a microwave safe bowl, and I'm going to put these in 30-second increments on the microwave. I do it at half power. So I turn the power to half and then I do 30 seconds, take it out, stir with a spoon, and just continue doing that until it is fully melted. Okay, so it is nice and melted. It usually gets to a point where there's still a couple chunks in there, but the bowl and the chocolate's hot enough that you can just kind of keep stirring it gently until it is all melted. Okay, so now basically what I'm going to do is spoon. You can use a spoon and stick it in, or because it's so big, I like to just pour it in. And then we're just going to spread it all around. You can kind of move it around and use a spoon or a brush to help make sure it gets all over the mold. Like so. Don't worry if it gets a little messy on the top. We'll clean that up after. Just go all over. A nice layer. I am going to do a second layer, but you want the first layer to be nice and thick. It does tend to like pool at the bottom, so you can just kind of keep moving it around. So I'm just going to do this, spread it around, and then I'm going to pop it in the fridge till it is hardened, and then we will melt a bit more. I didn't even use all of that, so I'll just remelt that if it has hardened. And we'll do a little second layer to make sure it is nice and covered. Okay, so this is what it looks like after the first layer. It actually looks pretty good, but you can see up here, a little bit right here, over here, there are some spots that just need a little bit more chocolate. So I am going to add a second layer with my chocolate just over here. Getting it all mainly along the edges. We don't really need to add any on the bottom. Because it's cold, it tends to stick good to the side and not pool on the bottom. Because the chocolate is so cold from being in the fridge. This part right here is finicky. We're gonna go all around the edge. Usually looks a little crazy on the inside, but that's okay because it's going to get smashed anyway. Perfect, so it's gonna look like this, kind of crazy, but nice 2 layers, and the second layer won't pool in the bottom because of how cold it is. Okay, so obviously you can do any type of color scheme or decorations for the top. Because I'm making mine for Valentine's Day, I'm going to use red candy melts and pink candy melts. These are Sweet Tooth Fairy. I do really like these ones. I find they taste better than the Wilton ones. The color is not quite as vibrant as the Wilton ones, I find, but the taste is better, so I would rather them taste better. You can also use white chocolate and dye it if that's what you prefer. So with these, I'm going to do some drizzle on top, but I'm also going to do some letters that say I love you. So for the I love you letters, I have this mold. It is a silicone mold, and I'm going to put my candy melts in a bag. You can use a decorating bag or a Ziploc bag. I'm gonna use a decorating bag. And then I'm going to pop those in the microwave, do the same procedure of melting 30 seconds at a time on half power. And then when that is done, I will show you how I fill the mold. So I got my candy melts, and then I'm just gonna tie a rubber band on the top because we wouldn't want anything to come out of the top. Okay, so these are all melted. I'm gonna cut a little hole in the bottom, like that. And then I'm going to fill the letters. Obviously I need more than one of a couple letters, so I'm gonna have to do this again, but I'm gonna start with the I. So I'm gonna fill it. L. I'm gonna need to do a second O after. Don't worry if it's messy, because we're gonna clean that up after. I lost track of what I was doing. I started doing the word you instead of love. Okay, I love Y-O-U. Perfect, so once we have it like that, we're gonna bang it a bunch. This is necessary to get out all the bubbles and to make sure your letters come out smooth. So we're gonna bang it a bunch. Then I'm gonna take a knife and I'm going to just scrape it like this. And then just wipe that on a piece of paper towel. This will make sure that they come out nice. Sometimes after you do that step, I bang again. If any of them seem like they are a little low, I will add more. These seem pretty good though. I also recommend not putting these in the freezer because I've found that that makes them break more easily. So if you're in a pinch, you can, but I prefer to put them in the fridge. Okay, once these are hardened, they will just pop right out of the mold. Basically, you can just kind of go like this. You do have to be like a little careful because they're small. They can be finicky, but they should just pop right out like that. Whoop. And we have an L. When it's time to take it out of the mold and decorate it, you want to do it on a piece of wax paper. Parchment paper also works, but it just peels off nicely when you drizzle. Okay, for these molds, because it's not like the silicone mold, it doesn't peel out, I just like to bang it a little bit to try and get it loose. So I did have like a teeny piece on the side here that didn't solidify, but that's okay. I will just clean it up with some chocolate. Okay, as you are decorating it, you want to pop it back in the fridge because don't want it to melt because we're adding like hot melting chocolate to it. It could melt. So, and you also, if you're adding sprinkles, you'll want to get those ready because you need to put them on right away while it is still before the chocolate dries. So I got some red sprinkles and some pink sprinkles ready here. So I just usually like test my chocolate on the side a little bit, and then I'm going to go back and forth over top, the very top of my heart a couple times. And then I'm going to get my sprinkles. Like this. If you're adding bigger sprinkles, somehow a green sprinkle got. Where did this green sprinkle come from? And then I like to sprinkle these. For my letters, I will start by putting them to kind of arrange how I like them, and then I am actually going to use the brown milk chocolate, not pink, to secure them, because then if it spreads out, it matches the background color, not these. So I'm going to use the brown chocolate. I'm just gonna make sure I have all the letters here. Okay, then once I figure out how I want them, I'm basically just gonna dip this in a little bit of the brown chocolate and stick it on. Again, if this is cold, it is a lot easier. I'm gonna give that a couple minutes in the fridge, but for when I'm ready to assemble, so I just got a box and filled it with some of this little paper. This kind of helps to hide any flaws on the edge. If you have any mishaps, this helps because it kind of gets buried in there. I bought discounted Christmas chocolates instead of Valentine's chocolates. Don't judge. You can really put however much you want. Once I put it on top, I'll figure out. So I'm gonna put the heart in the middle, and then the little wooden mallet to break it open, I will just place wherever I can fit it on the sides. And then I'm just gonna place it over top of everything. We're gonna break it open. You gotta really put some force in it.
But this weighs nothing.
It's chocolate. Whoa! Whoa! You did
Turtles!
What's inside?
We got turtles and lint balls. Ooh! And lint bears. These are just like my advent calendar.
Yeah, so...
And this is delicious, I bet.
It's chocolate, it's milk chocolate. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. You can totally switch this up for any holiday of the year. It doesn't just have to be for Valentine's Day. You could really make these for any holiday. They also have so many cool molds. I think next I want to get a football one to make for Super Bowl parties and just someone's birthday who likes football. I just think that the football one would be super fun and also really fun to decorate and fill with football themed snacks and treats for a Super Bowl type party. Make sure to like this video and subscribe. I do tons of baking videos, and I hope that everybody has a lovely Valentine's Day. Thanks for watching.